Greetings, people of the internet. I'm Scott with Serkworks Art Labs. Welcome to the underground laboratory where we create robots, alien zombies, and other imminent threats to humanity. Today, we're going to be working on comics one more time because it is day 3 of 100 Days of Making Comics. Day 3. 3, that's the magic number. Remember that from Schoolhouse Rock? You know, if any of you guys are too young to remember Schoolhouse Rock, you better Google that, because Schoolhouse Rock is where I learned so many different things. Other than that 3 was the magic number, I also learned how to unpack my adjectives. I learned how to multiply, not very well, I'm still pretty bad at that, but I learned how a bill becomes a law, how conjunctions function, all that. So anyway, 3 is the magic number. That's what we learned today. So let's jot it down on our big pad here. 3, day 3, here we go again for another day. Now, what is 100 Days of Making Comics all about? It's where you spend 30 minutes a day every day. Just put some time aside in your busy schedule to work on your own comic book project, and then hopefully at the end of 100 days you will have progressed quite a bit. So speaking of 3, that's the word of the day. What is my comic book all about? Well, here is issue 3, the current issue of Young and the Dead. I'm working on issue 4 right now. That's what I'm working on. That's what this whole thing, 100 Days of Making Comics, is about, to get me further to that goal of completing issue number 4. But this is 3. It's available on my website as well as issues 1 and 2. You can check that out. So where are we? Where are we with the comic book? Well, if you've been following along, you know, but it's time to continue on to see how much further we can get, and what are we going to learn today as we work on... Did I explain what my comic book's about? Did I forget? It's Young and the Dead. It's a kids versus zombie story. It's like Goonies meets Night of the Living Dead. So there you go, the pitch. As you know, if you've been watching for the last 2 episodes, we use the paralleloscope right here, and we tap into alternate realities, and we're going to view what's happening with our comic book, issue 3, where we're at in the process. Still in the beginning, but we're going to get further along, and this thing will keep building and building and building. So why are we wasting so much time? So we're wasting time talking when we could be going to the paralleloscope. Let's go. Okay, we return with another day of making comics. Let's see, where are we at? I want to talk about mind maps, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, but it's something I talked about in my first round, but we're at that stage again. And mind maps, this is a book on mind maps here. I forget the author, Tony Buzan. And I don't know if he developed this technique or if he just, you know, furthered it along or whatever, but mind maps are a way of non-linear note-taking. So usually when you take notes, you've got a list and this and this and this, but you're kind of confined by that because everything's up and down, you know, numbered and everything. But mind maps kind of free you out. And I know the way I'm describing it sounds kind of new agey, but it's not really that like that. Let me find a sample. So you can usually start with like a center point here. So I don't know if you can see this. So it's like, this is the novel, plot, characters, setting, symbolism, themes, philosophy, language, purpose, imagery. And each one of those kind of branch out, and you can loop things back around and everything. It's a really cool way of note taking. I'm not going to get too much into it. There's stuff online if you want to learn more about that. But that's one of the things that I like when I'm starting off, is to kind of use mind maps and everything. And sometimes I'll write lists and things too, but this is a little more creative. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to try to get at least 30 minutes in. Then I've got some other stuff, day job, and I've got like a life drawing thing that should be pretty cool tonight that I'm going to. So I'm going to get to working on this mind map. So the purpose of this particular mind map is, I'm going to start off with some of my locations. This particular chapter has quite a few different locations. I think within a 22-page story, there's 4 or 5 kind of different locations or settings, I guess. When I think of locations, well, settings, locations, I guess it's the same thing. But I want to, there's a lot of things that I want in these settings. So I want to put out the different settings and then different things that I want to populate in those settings, whether it's props or which characters are in there. So that's what I'm going to work on with this particular mind map, and there may be more mind maps to come as I get further into writing the script and all that kind of stuff, but we're not at that stage yet. I wish we were, but we got to do this stuff first. So that's what I'm going to get to right now. this here is the finished mind map. It's kind of in my chicken scratch, so it's hard to read. But basically what I did was I went through the different locations. I set up all the different locations. I indicated in red, all the locations have a different color. I indicated in red where each character are in that particular scene. And there's certain characters that are kind of mysterious that we haven't really introduced, so we don't see all of them. So we've just got question marks by those characters. And then I put a little, in this green, I put a little number, the darker green, and that's which scenes take place. So I kind of have an understanding of, oh, okay, the first scene's going to take place in this area, then we're going to move here, and then I just kind of drew lines to where everything goes. And it's a little confusing to look at, but I can make sense of it. So now that I've done that, I definitely have a better understanding of where I'm going to go, and then I can further, you know, kind of plot this thing along. So I'm excited. So I am on my way to Changing Hands Bookstore, which is a pretty cool bookstore out here in Phoenix, and I'm going there for a life drawing class. So it's actually like a drink and draw / life drawing. So they're gonna have a live model, which is gonna be cool, and they'll have drinks and stuff there. I think it's mostly just beer and wine. I don't think they have a full bar, which I'm not really a beer or wine drinker, so I can drink like cider, so I'll probably get a cider or anything, something like that. But anyway, so I really need to get back to doing stuff like this, like drawing from life and things like that. I just don't do it enough, so hopefully this will give me some practice and everything. I don't really know anyone there. I'm just kind of going there to see what it's all about, and hopefully it's cool, and hopefully there'll be more to come. So we'll find out. Alright, so that was pretty cool, actually. I went there, like I said, I just went there by myself, and I actually ended up seeing a few people that I actually knew, some other artists. So that was cool, and I guess they do this all the time, so I think it's like a once a month thing, so I will definitely be back. I think I do need some practice drawing from life, but that's what happens when you're sort of rusty with that sort of thing. So I'm not really a portrait artist, I do a lot more cartooning, a lot more commercial art. So, but anyway, so that was a good time. Glad I did it. I will definitely do it again. So yeah, even if you're a little hesitant to go out and do some of these things, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do it, because there's never been a case or something like that where I'm like, well, maybe I'll do it, maybe I won't, and then you go there, and there was never a case where I was like, I shouldn't have done that. It's always like, oh man, I'm glad I did it. So glad I did it, and yeah, great, I will be back. And we're back. We have completed today's work on the comic book. So you know what we do every episode. We take this sheet off the board, we crumble it up, and we throw it in the trash, and that means we are done with day 3. So join us tomorrow for day 4. I'll see you then. That is all. Hey everyone, you've seen the process. Now you can check out the story. Issues 1 through 3 of Young and the Dead are available at my website at serkworks.com. Also follow me on social media at the links listed below. Subscribe and check out some of the other videos in the series. There's much more to come.